Tori, you want me to go in the hall and gather everyone?
No, that's good. I said 5 minutes. Let's go. All right, so first of all, I want to say thank you to Trisha and Jesse and Kelly and all of the other leaders, Dr. Aaron, Desiree, Tim, for putting this thing together. Let's give them another round of applause because I'm leading in a culture of honor. And what a special retreat we had, and of course Connor, but he wasn't able to remain here for the entire time. But I do believe in a culture of honor, and I know that whenever I first started in this industry in 2012, we had an event called Successful, and my sister was telling me all about it and telling me all the reasons that I needed to be there. And of course, I had all the reasons that I could not go. And, you know, that's the first part of my Tori is Broke story in 2012. But she literally just said, you know, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the finances. My baby's birthday was on the day of the event. They were turning 2 years old. We have twins. And I just justified every single reason why I couldn't go. And she looked at me and she said, Tori, do you want things to change? And do you want success of the people that you have already seen having success? And I said, yes. And she said, then you'll figure it out. So I want to commend you for showing up today because you figured it out. People who have come all the way from Canada, from North Carolina, from Texas, you know, from all over to be at the first Live Good event. And you showed up because you want the success that you see in the room. Yes. And I have to admit, so do I. Because I almost didn't make it. I was going to allow my circumstances to keep me from showing up today because I really don't have a team in this area. I had to beg my friend to pick me up from the airport. I'm like, hey, if I can swing this, will you pick me up and take me to the event? Because I needed to be in the room with success. All right, so you will do whatever it takes when you want success bad enough. And so I want to get to know you guys today, and I want you to get to know me. So I believe in icebreakers, and my name is Tori from Texas, and we're going to play a little game. And so the game is called I Never. And if you haven't played this game before, it's very, very simple. It's the opposite of what I asked you. So maybe an example is, I've never rode a bike. Well, most of us have rode a bike, so we would all raise our hand and we would agree with that non-statement, right? I've never rode a bike. Because you have rode a bike. Yeah, let me explain. So if you have done it, but I'm saying I never, but if you have, you're going to raise your hand. Maybe another example is, I've never been to Mexico. Yes, y'all are such good learners. Okay, so we're going to start digging in. Again, I never, and if you have, you will actually raise your hand. So we're going to go through a list, and we're going to get to know each other, and we're going to go deep real fast. Okay? So, I've never paid my bills late. I've never been frustrated with my life. I've never hated my job. Yeah, you might want to raise 2 arms and a leg, right? I've never told my kids no because of money. I've never had my lights turned off for non-payment, you guys. I've never had my phone disconnected. I've never had a negative bank account. I've never had a car repossessed. I've never had 2 cars repossessed. I've never had almost a 3rd car repossessed 3 weeks ago. I've never lost a home to foreclosure. I've never been evicted. I've never had to withdraw my kids from their school that they left because you can't pay the tuition anymore. I've never had to ask for money to bury my mother. I never want to feel that way again. I think everybody needs to be raising their hand if they have felt any type of disdain, disgust, frustration in their life. Now, we have learned how to build this business, but I think the very most important thing that you have to define and you have to get really good in your gut is, why are you building this business? See, whenever I first was introduced to Live Good in April, I had just walked away from corporate America, where they, for the very first time in my life, and my adult life of 20 years of working, had to go get a job because of my former company. Let me just ask you this. Has anybody ever been mistreated or had their checks taken or lied to or manipulated by another company? Okay. So I found myself in that season after I lost my mother. The former company tried to manipulate the circumstances to leverage my mother's passing to increase sales of that company. Integrity was completely broken. I would no longer remain affiliated with that company, but for the first time in my life in 20 years, I had to go into corporate America. And I'm sure many of you work in corporate America. I've never had that experience, so I never knew what it was like. And maybe some people have had amazing experiences. But for me, it was a very new experience. It was a very life-changing experience, and it was probably the toughest experience I have ever experienced in 20 years of making money for myself. Because I have never been talked down to. I have never been mistreated the way that I was. I have never been told that you're not good enough. In all of the years of my 47 years of existence, I had never allowed myself to be treated that way. Yet, as a grown woman, I let other women speak to me that way because I felt like I didn't have a choice, because I was fighting for survival of a paycheck for my family. Raise your hand if you can identify with that emotion of having to put up with your circumstances because you feel like there's no other way. Because you have to have the paycheck. So you will take the abuse. You will take being miserable. You will take being stressed out. You will take the frustration. It took a toll on my marriage. It took a toll on the way that I parented. It took a toll on my mental health. And here's what I knew, that when I walked away, when I cut 70% of my salary, I said, never again. I will find a direct sales company that I will walk into and I will freaking crush it, because I will never allow myself to be treated that way again. And so I found Live Good. And I'll be honest, we can clap. Let's clap for Live Good. See, the reality is I did find Live Good, but I didn't see Live Good. I needed to replace my salary that I just very scaredly walked away from. If I did not figure out a way to start generating income, my family would not have survived because we had already been going deeper and deeper in the hole, and now it was like it was do or die. I recruited a few people, didn't see the vision of Live Good, set it down for 6 weeks. And maybe some of you in the room have not caught the vision of Live Good yet. Maybe you don't see what some of the leaders, some of the visionaries see. Maybe it hasn't even happened for some of us, but we see living proof in front of our eyes. So you can no longer deny if this is a legit opportunity, if this is a legit way to make money, if this is a legit way to change your life. And so the day that I heard Tim Miller's story on May 27th on a Saturday morning training, if you are not plugging in, you're not following the system that is designed and equipped to give you the success that you desire. It was the first Saturday morning training that I listened to. It was the first time that Tim Miller had ever shared his story. And it was such a divine moment for me. Maybe TMI, I was getting in the shower, so technically Tim and I have showered together, because I was listening to Tim Miller while in the shower, sobbing like a little baby. Because for the first time, I was like, you mean you can actually make the kind of money that I used to make? See, in 2009, I was with a company that I was making $500,000 a year. I know what it's like to have success. But then whenever you have success ripped out from underneath you, for 4 years, I have been fighting every single day, tooth and nail, to get back to where I was. And it was his story that changed my life and my decision date. See, we all have a start date. My start date was April 8th. My decision date was June 6th. And my question to you is, do you already have your decision date? Or maybe it's today. What is today? The 24th? 23rd. Maybe September 23rd needs to be your decision date. Because when I started running for 117 days that I have been in, now I'm in Live Good, right? I wasn't in Live Good. I signed up in Live Good. Now I'm in Live Good. For 117 days, I have run every single day for the survival of my family, and I've been able to put in 117 days $11,385 in the bank account. Some of you guys might be like, oh, that's a lot of money, but it's not enough. It's not enough when the debt is this high. It's not enough when the bills still are not paid. It's not enough because I don't have health insurance that I can't afford yet. It's not enough that my husband hates going to work every single day and he only wants to be with me. This income is not enough, but do you know what will be? Live Good will be enough if I don't stop. Live Good will be enough for you if you don't stop. You have to persist until. And here's what I challenge you. What is your persist until? I will persist until the bills get paid. I will persist until I get my yes back to my kids. I will persist so that I am in charge of my life. I will persist until I take the vacation that I want to go on. I will persist until my husband comes home back to me. I will persist until I no longer have to look at my bank account to see if I can put gas in the car. What is your persist? I will persist until I can now become a homeowner again because I haven't been a homeowner since 2017. What is your persist? Because only you and only you can do this. It's not your sponsor's job. It's not Tim Miller's job. It's not the Power Line's job. It is not the Matrix's job. job. It's not the 25 cents job. It is your job to persist until. You have got to simply make a decision of what are you persisting until. See, for me, I will persist until I can start breathing again. I will persist until I no longer have to look at the only people that call me are my bill collectors and Luke. I will persist until my children can go back to the school that they desire to be in. I will persist until I have freedom. And like I said before, Live Good is the only. I want you to understand and wrap your head around. I think 99% of you have been in this industry before. So 99% of you can identify with the struggle of chasing people, of chasing volume, of closing out a pay period, stress beyond belief, because are you going to hit your numbers? What happens if I don't hit my numbers? I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. So then I start throwing incentives. It's a rat race that I have been running for 12 years. And so this might take a little bit longer to build to get on the other side of the income. And let's be real. Can we literally just be real? That is such a... Are you kidding me? See, my goal is to have a six-figure income, right? My goal is to get to $10,000 a month. And, I can pompously say, well, it might take me 5 or 6 months. My God, it might take me 5 or 6 months, but man, I'm going to get to $10,000 a month. Are you kidding me? 6 months? A year? 2 years? If it took you that long to generate an additional $10,000 a month for your family, why would you ever quit? When most of you who are so disgusted with your circumstances, who are so disgusted with your job, I don't know how long you've had your job. I had my job for a year. What it has done for me is given me a complete new mission to understand what the majority of Americans and everybody else out there go through, because I had never felt it before. So I have complete empathy and compassion for people who hate what they do. But you're willing to go because you need the paycheck. I get it, and I am not shaming you, but it takes you 3 months to build enough extra income to have an extra $500 or $1,000. How is that not good enough? Time is going to pass you anyways. You're miserable in the circumstances that you're in. So what if it takes you a year to get to that amount of money that you need? See, I'm saying $10,000 initially, right? That's my initial goal, is $10,000 a month. Maybe for some of you guys, it might just be $1,000 a month would change your life. Maybe $2,500 a month might change your life. But how long have you been willing to be in the circumstances that you're so disgusted in and you haven't done anything about it to this date? And if you decide to walk out and it just gets too hard to share a $10 membership with my friend to help them save hundreds of dollars to help them get healthy, do we understand who we're listening to when we start negative talking? I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't talk to somebody about a $10 membership that is going to literally help them save money. Do you understand the mentality of how selfish that is? So whenever you start defining your why, you'll be willing to show up a little bit. You don't have to show up and build this full time. It's in your discretionary time so that you can start breathing again. Most people do not want to get, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe most people do, but I have not found that to be the case, but most people aren't looking to make a career in this. Most people just need some relief. You will never find the relief you're looking for if you're so easily willing to give up the best opportunity I have ever seen on the planet. So when you leave today, you need to decide, is September 23rd your decision date, or have you already decided and you've already been running And how much harder are you going to run? I tell you what, I don't know if anybody else felt that whenever Nader said, the end of September, we're turning off recruiting. Anybody else feel that gut check? Okay, but my next question is, well, what have you been doing up until today? Or have we just taken advantage of this opportunity? Have we taken advantage that I'll put off tomorrow? I'll talk to more people tomorrow. I don't feel like it today. If you are not going to build this until you feel like it, then you can continue to feel the same disgust that you feel today when I saw all of you raising your hands. You've got to make a decision. Now, my whys I've shared with you, but I'm going to share and read and know that, a lot of times we have to do something more than what it is for ourselves, right? We will serve others before we serve ourselves. That's just our maternal nature, I believe. And we will serve our children before we serve ourselves. But whenever I get this encouragement and this support, I hope that you have a support system in place. And if you don't, if you don't from your home, let it be your mentor, let it be your sponsor, let it be someone cross-line, let it be me. Because you have to have encouragement and you have to have support in this business. And maybe one other thing that I can suggest is that if you're fighting for your family members and you're fighting for your children, make sure that they know that. Make sure that you communicate with them. I am fighting and working so hard because I want things to be different for our family. Bring them in alongside your journey so they will never resent what you are fighting for, because it's for them. And I'm going to read you with my first note that I received. My husband always prepares my supplements and packs my bag and does everything, because I'm literally the biggest hot mess express you'll ever meet in your entire life. And he treats me like a queen, but I'm going to share with you a hidden note that it's like a little scavenger hunt I get to go on every time I leave town. But it's, hey, I miss you so much. God has given you a great gift as in speaking to people. So I am sure you will reach out to many new people, and I know everyone will love you. So I can't wait to see you. I love you so much. Love, Bug. And my husband says, Tori, you are beautiful, powerful, sexy, funny, and a strong woman of God. Thank you for working so hard for our family. I love you, Jason. See, whenever you start bringing in the people that you're fighting for into your fight, you're gonna find more support than you could ever dream of and ask for. So make sure you know what you're fighting for and get out there and start fighting on your decision day. God bless.